Hello, here's my living in Boulder vlog for May 30th. Right now it's June 1st, Saturday at 5, whoops, thought I had that, 5:10 a.m. 2019. So, I can't remember where I was last time I did my video, but today or yesterday, what I did, well, I went over to my mom's house and had lunch. It helped her organize for a couple of hours, but for my website, I was working until 8 in the morning, and then I went to her house at 2:30. So I was sleeping for 6.5 hours. Then I came back at about 4:30, and so I spent the day just fixing tribes. I traced the tribes from far away, but then I had to zoom in and perfect it. So that's what I was doing. But I was also adding new tribes that I didn't have, and then I figured out how I wanted to organize it, and I got all of the square kilometers and perimeter of all of the tribes, and then tribes within tribes and languages. And so then I was started to do some movies, and I did all the movies, 21 movies on the largest region, which is the plains, on the largest language, which was Alkogan, and then I was numbering them, but then the Google Earth crashed. So they started numbering them again, and it crashed right away. So I just restarted the computer. The computer doesn't need updates. Sometimes when it crashes a lot, it's because it needs updates. I was watching. I was kind of having a lot of silence, but I was watching and listening to some music. But I was watching some YouTube Legal, talking about law stuff, and then there was this documentary about the China trade. So, so when I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna work more now. I think I'm gonna smoke a joint. My roommate gave me a joint. The work that I'm doing now is super like mind numbing, and so when I'm doing mind numbing work, which is 99% of the time, it's better to just be high. But unless I'm like, yeah, unless you're listening to a book. But I'm like super motivated to finish this. So when the bigger tribes, I go down to 24 miles, which is, well, that's 40 kilometers, which corresponds to my Bike Racer level page, because 40 kilometers is your hour, 1 hour. That's the main metric. But I also, in smaller tribes, I go down to 12 miles, which is 20K. But 24 miles is also the highest that anybody's ever skydived before. They did it, I think, in the 60s, and then some other dude did it a couple of years ago. So they go up on a balloon and put up oxygen, and then there's a video of them skydiving. The video from the balloon, it's pretty interesting. So, and then when some of them are smaller, I got 38,000 feet, because that's the height of the of commercial airliners, reach up to 38,000. I read they're between 31 and 38,000. So what I'm going to do now, hopefully Dreamweaver won't crash. The idea is to go through maybe like a tribe or a language, like 10, no more than 20, where I cut and paste and then save it, so that when it crashes, I can recover it, because Google Earth doesn't recover stuff like how Dreamweaver can. Yeah, I'm going to go and make the movies. Well, I have to organize them. I have organized them from largest region to smallest, largest country to smallest, language to smallest within the region, and then largest tribe to smallest, and all numbered. And then, when it goes in, it just goes 111. It adds, like with Wikipedia, it adds a number. It'll be easy to find for when I link it for my website. But, yeah, I like numbers. Numbers help you get an idea for stuff. So, when I get up, or what I'm gonna do now, organize them all by size, because I haven't done that. The only thing that I did completely was the very first one, 21 tribes, where I did the video. So I start out seeing all of America, and then I click record on the movie, and then of Google Earth. Then I double click on the tribe. It takes you down to the tribe, and then I just go into zoom until I go to the height I need, and then I go up and I do a 360, and then I go back down, and then I zoom back out, and that's the movie. So I'm going to do, movies and numbers, organizing, largest to smallest for everything, and numbering, and then the movies. And after I've done that, I was thinking about duplicating and making one that just has the outline so that you can do the movies around and still see the detail of the tribes so that you don't get it obscured by the color. But I like having it when you do the color too, because it'll help you remember the color and the shape of when you're zoomed out. So I was originally planning on having all of the tribes different color, but I decided to make it look just like the map that I traced it off of, which has it all colored by the languages. So, and it looks good. So I'm looking forward to working tomorrow or today and seeing how far I can get along. Maybe I can finish it. This is the first one that I've done so thoroughly so far. I haven't made the movies. Could have sworn I did, but I don't have the movies for the tribes in Europe. So, and I didn't record in the naming the number because I was afraid about uploading. But it downloads just fine as long as you don't have characters from other languages. But you can upload and download with spaces. People still like to connect the words with these with the hyphen, but mine uploads and downloads fine without it. So, that's why I put all the data, the square kilometers and perimeter of all of the tribes. So all I have to do is save it as is. Get saved fine, and it looks best on here. Oh, and also for Google Earth for the cell phone, because on the cell phone it doesn't take what you name it. It takes what it's named on the save. So, if I finish today, that's awesome. I mean, Saturday, I'll have to look on and see how many days in a row I've been working on this. But if I can get done within under a week, that's awesome. Then I can, do the timeline part of it. I'm kind of at a stage in my site now where I'm doing timeline, Google Earth timeline. That's kind of when you do. You're getting along when you can spread it out some and not be drilled into one thing forever. So, I'm getting a lot done, too, because I'm just working really well around the clock and not, burning out or anything. Just get going. All right, so that's enough talking. By tomorrow, maybe I'll be done. I don't think I will be, but, maybe I'll be halfway done with this last stage. Okay, so talk to you tomorrow.